Calderon of Fight Hook News here with Matchmaker Robert Diaz. How you doing, boss?
I'm good, thank you.
Enjoying the fights tonight? Your fighter won today?
He came back from a hard, tough fight. And he came in with a good opponent, a good opponent who had never been stopped. But the most important thing is he went 8 rounds, got some rust off, and now he's ready. Now he's ready to fight any of the top 130s.
Pitufo Diaz, he's a Puerto Rican. He went in there against a very tall Mexican fighter. It was a tough fight, but he was able to find his way in and get that victory win. Now, you see him fighting at 130 or 135?
No, 130. 130.
Didn't he fight at 135 today?
No, he fought at one. They did 132 since there was no title.
Okay.
But he's ready for 130.
Now, who are the guys we're looking at to him to catapult himself into a title?
You know, he makes for a friendly style. He comes to fight. He's not running. He's not boxing. He's strong. Everybody he's fought in the past, some of the tough champions out there. Personally, I'd love to put him in, with I think him and Oscar Valdez would give the fans a hell of a fight, man. Mexico, Puerto Rico. I know Oscar for many years. I admire him. They both fought Navarrete. So I think it's a perfect match. Obviously there hasn't been talks. Today was the important day. Get by today, and then we'll talk to our promoter and see what we can get.
What do you think about the fight that's coming up next with Zurdo Ramirez fighting the KO doctor, Cuban fighter, former world champion? That's a great fight that was just announced.
Yes, that's a fight we knew was coming. Look, it's a hell of a fight. It's mandatory. It's 2 of the top in the division. But I'm going to go with Zurdo. Zurdo's my guy. I signed him many years ago to Golden Boy, and I'm still a big fan of Zurdo. Vámonos. Vamos, Mazatlan.
What do you think that fight is going to end? Is it going to end in a knockout or decision?
When there's those big boys, one punch can end it, but I think it's a decision fight. That Zurdo showed in his last fight how much boxing he has. Not only is he a hunter, but he can box as well. And I think we're going to see a little bit of both, and Zurdo will win, no doubt about it, a unanimous decision.
What do you think about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fighting Jake Paul? Give us your honest opinion about that fight.
My dead honest opinion. About 2 years ago, I spoke to Chavez Sr., and we were talking. We were in an airport coming back from the WBC convention, and I said, "You know what fight your son should do?" And he said, "What?" Jake Paul. So now I'm seeing it develop, and I'm like sitting back, and I'm like, "Wow, dreams do come true."
So you've been wanting to see that fight?
Yeah. I thought, you know what? If this guy's really good, and this is way before he fought Tyson. If Jake really is going to want to fight somebody and going to fight a boxer, Junior's the guy. Jake can have a claim should he stop Junior. Others that haven't,
Canelo never did.
Exactly. So now he could say, "Hey, I did what Canelo didn't." Now it's not that easy though, because he's fighting a guy who's young in his, I'm not going to say his prime, but he's a younger fighter than was Mike.
Now Chavez, he usually fights at what, light heavyweight? He's going up to cruiserweight to fight Jake, so Jake's going to be the bigger guy in there.
Yes, he's going to be the bigger guy from 2 years ago, but who's going to be the boxer in this fight? It's naturally Junior's the fighter that has been doing it for years, not just 2 or 3 years from ago.
He's a former world champion.
Exactly.
His father's a legend. He's been around the ring for a very long time. If he takes his training very seriously, he probably has a very good shot of beating Jake Paul.
Props to Jake Paul, because now it's not a 60-year-old. Now it's not a MMA guy. Now he's fighting a former world champion who's, again, not in his prime, but can still, if he gets in his shape and has plenty of time, can pose a lot of problems.
All right, one more question. The welterweight division is hot right now. We saw the performance that Jaron Boots Ennis put against Stanionis. What do you thought about that fight, and who do you think that you want to see him fight next?
Boots really surprised me. And in not that he won, because I knew how good he was, but in the fashion he won and how easy he made it look. Obviously, there's a lot of hard work and there's the talent. Props to him. Stanionis is a hell of a fighter. When I saw him in there with Maestre, the jab was on point. He looked so good. So I thought it was going to be a distance fight. I was wrong, but sky's the limit. I mean, I'd like to see him continue unifying belts. I think him and Norman should be next.
Now Barrios, I think Barrios is a good
I
fighter.
think Barrios is scheduled with somebody coming up.
They're saying that he's trying to get Manny Pacquiao or Errol
If I'm
Spence
Barrios,
Jr.
I definitely fight Manny Pacquiao. You lose to the legend, so be it. But
Manny's been out for a long time.
He has, but
and
Manny,
he didn't look too good in his last fight that he had was exhibition.
Age, you know what? Age, Father Time is still undefeated.
Yeah. But thanks a lot, Rob. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
God bless.
Thank you very much.